leadership comes in all levels, and I think that we all have to work at that. And I think there's different leadership styles than are applicable at different times and where you are, and some are better at one style than the other, and we'll talk a little bit about my style and why. But anyway, transportation. I am absolutely passionate about people and moving goods, and I think it's just, you know, for one thing in leadership, if you can't be passionate about what you're doing, don't do that. Find something that you are passionate about, because I don't think you can succeed. So I think it's about relationships. I always learn something. I have a huge dose of curiosity. And so I think for all of us, the relationships that you have, and you never, ever, ever know where you're going to run into that guy or gal again, or where something that you learn from them, you'll be able to plug in to what you're doing. All of my transportation journey has really just been based on my willingness to jump in there, admit that I have no clue at times, and ask a lot of questions. And I think leadership, if you're going to lead, you better not be shy. You know, there's all types of leadership. Leadership in transportation, where are we going? I think it's a great time to be in transportation, because we've got a lot of problems to solve. I had an hour, 15-minute commute today for a drive that should have taken maybe 30, 35 minutes. We're going to have to figure out, what does that new world order look like? So if you think you're going to lead, you better do your homework. You bring your best self.
I love this industry. I say all the time that I don't think any industry impacts the daily economy and quality of life more than we do. You know, I dare you to go. I tell people all the time who say that they hate trucks. Let's go a week without a truck and see what happens. The economy would collapse, and we would all, you know, perish because we don't have any food. You know, and so from a leadership perspective, one of the biggest things we need is this: how do we teach the young people today of the needs to get into this industry? Transportation logistics needs young people. We need the youth, because us old guys at some point, you know, we want to, you know, take our golf cart and go home, you know, but we need the youth into this industry, and we need their leadership, because, you know, they see things from a very different perspective than we do, right? So when I first got in this industry, the idea of a same-day shipment was unthought of. I mean, you want me to ship that out today? I mean, you just got me the order today, you know? It's Monday, I'll get it to you Friday, or maybe next week. I mean, today? Are you kidding me? You know, and that's not even a joke. I mean, really, in the grand scheme of society, that wasn't that long ago. I mean, it really wasn't that long ago that was unheard of. We have clients today that we ship for and we fulfill for. Their requirement is from the time the order drops, we have 2.5 hours to have it ready for a shipment. 2.5 hours. One of Fran's favorite phrases, logistics is a system of systems, right? So there's this other system that has to happen now that's going to make, again, I call it a more collaborative effort. The reality and the leadership part of this is you have to adopt it. Look, those who adapt to it will survive, and those that don't won't, right? I tend to try to be a survivor, so you just have to adapt. I mean, you may not like it, you can curse and vote for whoever you want to vote for, but at the end of the day, you just have to adapt, and, you know, as we used to say, adapt and overcome, right? And just move on. So we've got to figure out how to adapt using the regulations that we've got and the entanglements we've got. We need leadership behind the scenes. We need young leadership. From my perspective, you know, leadership is the ability to not just think outside the box doesn't quite get you there. It's just thinking about a completely new reality. Thinking that, look, I need to figure out something that I don't even know what it is I need to figure out that makes sense. Because I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I mean, it's changing so quickly. As a leader, I think you have to have the courage to invite in, opposing views. And I would challenge you that in life. If you surround yourself with everybody that always agrees with you, and everybody's like mind, you're never going to grow. Unlike a lot of people, I believe healthy debate is the way you grow and you get better. Okay, so as a leader, don't surround yourself with a bunch of yes people. I always like the fable, the emperor with no clothes on. If you don't have contrarians in your life that are willing to tell you that if you look stupid in public, you may eventually look stupid in public. Right? So, in closing, again, leadership in my mind is having the courage to invite opposing views, the courage to look outside of what you think is the norm, courage to just throw everything you know to the side and say, okay, let's start with a clean slate here. If we were writing it from the beginning today, what would it look like? What would you look like today? Forget everything else, throw everything out. What would it look like? Forget about cost, forget about all those things. But first off, what should it look like? And I think as a leader today, and the young leaders coming up, that's what you have to do. You have to start with a clean slate and say, okay, we were starting over today, what would it look like?